But there's one other thing you brought up earlier, and I want to bring this up. If you were to do this sometime, if you do a panel show, you have 10 beautiful women on there, and you ask them, how did you meet the last few guys that you dated? None of them are going to say, almost none of them are going to say, I met him on Tinder. Maybe 1 out of the 10 was, I met him on Tinder. The rest of them, very few of them are going to say, I was walking through a mall and a guy came up and just approached me out of the blue, like day game cold approach. What most of them are going to say is, I met him on social media and or we connected through a friend, and more times than not, that friend is female. So if beautiful women are telling you that they're sleeping with men that they meet through other beautiful women, what is the best way for you to meet beautiful women? The answer
beautiful women.
To have a bunch of beautiful women around you. The conclusion is inescapable. And yet dating advice for the last 20 years has been that men and women can't be friends. This is one of the problems. This is the reason why the bottom third of men are getting no sex now. And there's the top 5% of men, I think 10 or 15 years ago, the top 5% of men had 35 sexual partners, and now it's 60. So if women are having the same amount of sex, but men, the bottom third are having none, and the top 5% are having more, what does that tell you? It means that things are those men at the top are the ones sleeping with those women that normally would have been with those men at the bottom, those men at the bottom. And so when you see that, because women are having the same amount of sex, so if you see that concept, then it should make you understand that what's happening is social media has stratified so that a small group of men are having a ton of success, which means you have to be on social media. You just have to. If you don't, unless you are, listen, if you have won an NBA championship, you're a billionaire. If you're a billionaire, you don't need an Instagram. If you are, incredibly famous, you've won an Academy Award, you don't need an Instagram. For the rest of you normal fucks out there that are listening to this, you do. And you can keep telling me that I'm wrong, but if you look at the most beautiful, again, don't ask me. Ask the most beautiful women you know how they met their partner, and they're going to tell you a friend introduced me or I met him on social media. And if you see that, then why aren't you doing that? If you do, you talk to your sales team all the time. If you're getting if you A/B test a bunch of different ads and one of them's crushing it, you put more money into that ad. I don't understand how that concept makes sense when it comes to sales, but it doesn't seem to make sense when it comes to dating. If you just ask women when they sleep with someone how they met them, they're going to give you the same answer. And that answer is the thing I teach in my program.
Well, again, if any dudes listening and trying to get into the dating scene, then it sounds like you need to be a man of action. So join Men of Action. Yeah. But I could talk a while on these subjects only because it's, number one, interesting, but number two, I've got my opinions because of my experience.
Of course.
Now, I'll say things. I did a post on social media once where I told a story about how I met this girl once. And I thought I came up with the best pickup line on planet Earth. I don't know if I told you this. I may have. I put it on social media, or my team did. And literally it went ridiculously viral on Facebook, of all places, because I don't like Facebook. All the comments on Facebook seem to be real left-leaning and real blue-haired type people.
Yeah.
And I don't get how, like, why would you like Instagram, but you wouldn't want Facebook and TikTok and Instagram? Like, it's all, to me, it's just social media. Like, the same people have all the accounts, but apparently not.
It's because Instagram is more status based, and a lot of those people feel left behind, and that's why they end up left leaning. Like,
and sour.
It's the feminist.
They seem sour on Facebook.
It's the feminist PhD. She's not going to do well on Instagram, but on Facebook she can start a group and she can get a bunch of people. So that's part of the reason.
And it's not the girls that were doing most of the hating. It was the dudes, dude. And I kept looking at like these dudes like, bro, first of all, the line wasn't that fucking slick. And number two, why is it cap? Yeah. Like, I'm going to tell the story real quick. Yeah. I'm at a dealership.
Yeah.
And by the way, it went so viral that people were sending me videos of other people trying to do it, saying, this is where you got that. No, they got that from me. Because again, dude, I made this shit up on the spot. I don't remember the year. Let's call it 2004.
Yeah.
I'm running a car dealership. Someone comes up. I have a sales team, and I'm the king, obviously, at the dealership because, I'm the alpha king of the sales guys there. So they all, we all hang out and bro it out and shit. And someone comes up and they go, dude, there's this freaking hot ass girl that just pulled into the service drive. And I said, well, I'll be the judge of that. So I roll over there, and sure enough, there's a hot chick there. I ask her out. I'm going to tell it quick. I ask her out. She says no. And I'm like, okay, bummer. I turn around to walk out, and my team's watching. And one of them made a comment that basically said, oh, I thought you could get anybody. I thought you were the closer. So I'm like, fuck, I'll give it one more shot. So I turned around, and all I said to her is, I said, hey, let me ask you. And I didn't think this is what I'm going to do. I just said, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What'd you have for dinner last night? And she said, pasta. And I said, what'd you have the night before? And she said, chicken. And I said, why didn't you have pasta? And she said, why would I have pasta every night? And I said, exactly. Call me when you're tired of pasta. And I gave her my card, and she knew what I was referring to. She told me that she was in a relationship, but I didn't know the guy. And that's another reason a lot of guys were hammering me.
Yeah.
Fucking had a boyfriend. Yeah, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
And he's a boyfriend. Boyfriend and husband are two different things. Someone says, hey, I got a boyfriend, I'm not interested. I say, cool. Sorry. I walk away. This one, like, I thought I wanted to marry.
Yeah.
That's how fucking hot she was. So I'm like, he ain't invited type of thing. Like, let's talk. But anyway, long story short, I said, okay, call me if you ever get tired of pasta. And she called me 3 days later.
Yeah.
Tired of pasta. Turns out this dude is a multi-millionaire. If I told you who he was, you might know him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking there's no way I'm getting this dude because he is loaded. And I don't know if I got her from him or he discarded her and she came to me.
Could be, yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm still not discrediting this guy.
Yeah.
He probably discarded her and I thought I took her.
Yeah.
I didn't take shit. He was done with it. So again, to me, that's the kind of power I give to the guy with the billions. Because you said you're a billionaire, you don't need an Instagram. If you're a billionaire, I don't think you need shit.
Yes.
But I also don't know if that's the quality of girl you should be looking for. If all they want you for is your money, all they want you for. I didn't say if they want you for money because I think that's smart of a girl.
Yeah.
If my daughter said, Dad, who should I choose? I would say choose someone with money. Why? Not because I'm a bias against people that don't, because I don't want her to have a hard life.
Exactly.
But anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. Now I'm starting to emulate you.
Yeah. So you were talking, telling the story, and you said you got a bunch of haters on there, like male haters. Yeah.
They said I was lying. They said I'm capping. It's like, come on, man. Like, that's not bullshit. And then when I came down here one time, and these are lines, I came down here one time and I didn't have any fucking money per se. And, my buddy was like, because I've always been known as the guy that, I could make calls after this and let you talk to some of my buddies back in the day. And like, dude, I was men of action back then.
I'm familiar with that guy. Yeah.
And so like everyone would come to me to get the girls, even if we were out, like, Brad, go talk to them, and I'd go up and I'd bring them over and I'd be the best freaking draw ever. Anyway, this guy says, go get that table. We're watching this table, dude. They've shot down multiple sets. And I'm like, I'm not really sure, but I'm willing to give it a try. I said, I don't have any money. He goes, here, use my card. So I walk up with an American Express, and I said, and I didn't know I was going to say this. Yeah. And I said, I'll tell you what. I said, I'll buy all the drinks if you guys promise not to hog all the covers. I gave him a little shitty ass grin. Yeah. And I threw the fucking card on the table and it worked. So why am I saying all that? Because I came up with some cheesy lines, and cheesy lines actually worked.
I'm looking for 5 men who want to learn how to level up their social circle and attract high quality women using nothing but your IG in 5 days. If this is you, hit the link below.